Many people say they want to be in the top 1%, or 0.1%, or even 0.01%. But saying that has zero bearing on whether it happens. Achievement comes from actions, not aspirations. So let's get real. To be the top 1%, you need to enter a room of 100 people and leave number 1. To be the top 0.1%, you need to enter a room of 1,000 people, like a local high school, and leave number 1. To be the top 0.01%, you need to enter an arena of 10,000 people and leave number 1. Think about it, a stadium. And in a battle to the death in that stadium, you have to come out on top. You beat everyone, not almost everyone, everyone. And so if you have the goal to be in the top 0.01%, do you think that you can live a normal life?
The most important thing in your life will always tell you the truth. Even if you duck it, will always be real for you, will always show you who you truly are, is the mirror. Not your friend, not somebody's show. The mirror would never lie to you, because when you look in that mirror, you see who you is when nobody else is around, when nobody else is looking.
You want to achieve something serious, you need to be serious. You can't achieve something seriously impactful if you're joking around and if you're losing your focus all the time and if nothing is important in a way to you. So that means setting priorities, knowing when is the time to invest the energy, when it is the time to release energy, when is it good now to recover, when are you really feeling this is now starting to be the limit. These are all very, very fine aspects that only you know.
Exceptional life does not always mean better. It just means that it's so different that most people will reject it. And when that happens, you must reject them as well. Oil and water do not mix. That is what it really means to be exceptional. You must become the exception.
So the question you have to ask yourself is, who am I? Where am I going? What do I want to accomplish? 3 major areas of goals that you have to think about. The first is your personal and your family goals. These are the reasons why you're alive. What do you want to accomplish for yourself and for your family? Write them down, define them clearly. The second set of goals that you have to ask is your business, your career, your financial, your material goals. What is it that you want to accomplish in the external world? Where do you want to make your contribution? The third type of goals you have to ask about are your self-development goals. And in my estimation, your ability and your willingness and your tenaciousness in developing yourself is the key to accomplishing everything else.
You know that dream in you that seems out of touch and crazy? Yeah, that one. What if that dream was actually put in you for a reason? Do not buy into the fear that everyone around you calls logic. The dreams that truly make a difference are rarely logical. Be fearless in the pursuit that sets your soul on fire.
The proper comparison group for you is you yesterday. First of all, you're the only control group that's appropriate to you because you have a certain set of talents and possibilities and limitations and tragedies that are truly unique to you.
Shouldn't it just happen? Well, it doesn't. Basically, life is this way. What you put into it is what you get out of it.
People want their life to be free of struggle and conflict. They want a smooth path in front of them. When you face adversity or things aren't going quite well, you have to reassess who you are. You have to reassess your opinions. You have to say, maybe I'm not doing this the right way. Maybe my patterns of responding in the past aren't working out. Maybe there's something wrong with me. How can I learn from this moment? How can I get past this particular obstacle? If you never have failure, if you never have conflict, you are never going to develop yourself in life.
Even though you are scared, can you still go through with the task? Even though it's risky and you don't know what's on the other side, can you still stay focused, stay locked in, keep working, and keep pushing forward? That's the person that people want to follow.
What's the number one way you measure somebody that's hungry? Very simple. Their sense of urgency. That's simple. Let me explain to you why. So people say, you have no idea how hungry I am. Really? Yeah. What'd you do about it today? Oh, not today, but tomorrow I'm gonna. You ain't hungry, man. You just think you're hungry. You are not hungry.
Think like the person you intend to become. Ask yourself, how would the person I'd like to be do the things I'm about to do?
Everybody in here wants to get to the next level. And very simple, you can make 2 lists, and I can tell you if you're gonna get to the next level or not. Make a list of what you wanna do to get to the next level. And on the other side of the list, what are you willing to do to get to the next level? And if that list doesn't match, you are so far away from winning, you have no chance.
You do not have time to fuck around. You don't have time to play games, to be in everybody's face, to not be focused on your goals. Every single day counts. You didn't do nothing yesterday, and you didn't do nothing today. Every single day that you don't do nothing, bro, is a day wasted. It's a day that you could have got better.
You've developed a false belief system in yourself of what you need to know to take action. And so successful people are willing to step into the unknown and the unprepared more than people who are unsuccessful. So procrastination is really saying, I got to know a little more, I got to prepare a little bit more, I got to get a little bit more ready, a little bit more ready, a little bit more ready. And you keep raising the readiness quota to a point where you never take action. And so you got to get to this point where you're like, I'm going to get into the room, I'm going to start to write that paper, I'm going to start the book, I'm going to get into that, and I'll figure it out when I get there. And most people that are successful have this internal belief system that I don't need to know everything to take action. I just need to know enough to get in the room, and I'll figure it out from there.
No one has ever achieved anything if they haven't faced failures, if they haven't had disappointments. To achieve anything in life, you have to be prepared to take on the odds, face disappointment. You only lose when you give up. If you do not give up, you will win from the most incredible positions. The fight is in the mind. It's not physical, it's in the mind.
What are the things that you fear that's been keeping you from living your dream? That's been keeping you from doing some things that you would like to do? Just think about those things.
You must become a vigilant gatekeeper of everything you allow to go into your mind. Anything that gets into your mind is entering holy ground. When you recognize who you really are and why you've been put on this earth, you'll start to understand why the enemy works so hard to stop you, why the negative thoughts and the self-doubt seem to come at you like bullets out of nowhere. You were not put on this earth to be average. You weren't put here to sit the sidelines. You were not put here to fail. You were given gifts and talents and skills so that you could go out and make a difference. You were put here for a reason and a purpose. You were put here to be great.
We all have ambitions, we all have dreams and goals and desires that we want, but really what gets you to where you want are habits, our daily habits. There are negative habits that you can't get rid of, but there are other habits that, like discipline, like working every day, like taking steps to reach your goals, that are immensely liberating. And you can get rid of your bad habits through developing positive habits, right? So the goal here is to focus less on the giant dreams and on the everyday process of changing your thinking.
It's not really about what you want, it's about what you're willing to do to get it. And in that, maybe you have to give something up that may not be a good habit to replace it with a better habit. Everybody got to make that decision. So it's not just about what you want, it's about what are you willing to do to get it. That's what it all comes down to, guys.
I feel to be at the pinnacle of any game. In whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that.
People think being consistent means never falling off track. But that's not true. That's called perfection. And for most, that's just not realistic. Consistency means staying on track most of the time. And when you fall off, whether it was intentional or not, you pick yourself up and you get right back on. Consistency is about being persistent, not perfect.
It can do. All it takes is determination. You'll get your chance. Sometimes it doesn't come as quick as you'd like. There's a lot of hurdles, but you will get there. You have to believe in that.
For kids to bet on themselves. Take some chances, get your knowledge, know what you're doing, and then go 2 feet in and then bet on yourself. If you go to somebody, you ask somebody and they shoot you down, don't let that be the answer. If you have a passion for something and it's burning, it's your job to curate that passion. I really believe that. You don't take no's for answer.
You never look at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. I have standards. I have values. I chose to do that. If you need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you?
Nothing in life is promised except death. If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past.
Seneca said there is no greatness without stillness in it, and I think that's right. What kind of success do you have if you miss every sunrise and sunset, if you're always busy, if you never have time with your family, but also if you never have time with yourself? And so if you don't have moments of stillness in your life, I would ask you what kind of life you're living. And if the kind of life you're living is really your best life.
If you do not have clear goals for your life, you are condemned forever to work for those who do. You see, in life, it's very simple. Either you are working toward the accomplishment of your goals or you're working toward the accomplishment of other people's goals.
Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions, because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The secret to an art unknown as turning obstacles upside down, to act with a reverse clause, so there's always a way out or another route to get where you need to go, so that setbacks or problems are always expected and never permanent, making certain that what impedes us can empower us.
What is a mistake? Everybody will do something which will go wrong. Making something wrong the first time is not a mistake. It is your chance to correct it. But making the same situation over and over, wrong again and wrong again because of the unwillingness to learn something from it, that is the mistake.
The hardest battle that we fight is between what we don't want to feel and what we know we must do. Following your intuition isn't always rainbows and sunshine. Sometimes it's making decisions for the greater good that really hurt. Just remember, you are choosing what's best for your soul, and that is worth it.
Anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
The goal is to die fulfilled. How do you die fulfilled? You have to die unfilled. You have to empty out all of your efforts. You have to empty out all of your knowledge, all of your giving, all of your help, everything you have into making this world a better place. bringing your vision into a reality which should impact many lives.
There's a saying, this quote that I really believe in, that when the pain of the current reality becomes greater than the fear of change, that's when we change. So like when the pain becomes so intense that it's greater than the fear that you have of the unknown, then you'll go into the unknown.
I had to convince myself that I'm gonna make it. What it does, it makes you feel like there's gonna be points that people are gonna mistake my confidence for arrogance. They don't understand the process of it.
The best way to fight the demons that chase you in the night is to stop and turn around. Turn around, face them. A hero dies once, a coward dies 1,000 times.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen in life. Your parents are going to pass away, loved ones are going to die, your relationships are going to break down, your body is going to fail you, you're going to become ill or sick or destitute. Things are going to happen that you have no control over, and the only way that you can prepare yourself for unchosen suffering is with chosen suffering. You can elect to put yourself into a position to become a stronger alloy of whatever the metal is that you're made of. And by purposefully choosing difficult things, you will armor yourself against that situation.
You think you got so much time, man. Like you think you got so much time. Not that you need to rush your life, but you think you got time. Make that call, man. Like you think you got time. Write that letter. You think you got time. Go see that person. You think you got time. I said, man, when I say the most underrated blessing is leaving your house and making it back home every single day, people treat it like it's a cliche. Man, it's the most underrated blessing because every single day we wake up, we walk out of our front doors. We just treat life as if it's promised to us. It's not.
Problem is, you think you have time, but in reality, you don't. So, what are you waiting for?
The story they sell themselves on. Everyone's got a story. And everyone wants to tell you their story of how bad they had it, how hard they had it. And the more times you tell yourself or others that story, the more you reinforce the fact that you're not meant to have happiness, success, abundance, great relationship, awesome health, whatever. The story, they don't realize that they still hold the pen. And there's thousands of empty pages still in that book that they could rewrite that story. But we have to let go of the pages that others have written in our book, and we can start writing how the story looks from this day forward.
Whether you do, whether you don't, they're still gonna talk about you. At gatherings, they whisper about you if you're making moves or you're standing still. So honestly, I've come to realize in life, just do you, just do what you wanna do. Let them talk.
And the only guarantee that you and I are going to have a better tomorrow is the fact that you and I are growing today. See, if you and I are not growing today, what would make us think that tomorrow has greater possibilities? You don't go into possibilities, you grow into possibilities. You don't go into opportunities, you grow into opportunities. It becomes the natural thing to a person that keeps learning and growing, expanding and stretching.
There's a payoff for bad eventually. There's a payoff. It can't be bad, but for so long. If you got the strength and the understanding to realize that, shit will change. It will change.
The saying I think to myself every day is that I didn't come this far to only come this far. Creativity has no limits. We're not like a limited amount that we're gonna use up. When you do something, you check the box and move on. Do the next thing. We don't live in the past. Create a life resume. Do as many things that you can do, that you want to do, and check the box and do the next thing. When you take the chance to go after your dreams, when you take the risk, sure, you may fail, but what if you fly? What if you succeed? What if you do greater than you could have ever imagined? What if you impact and change millions of lives? What if the world is different in a better way because of you?
Don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes happen to everybody. Everybody makes a mistake. You're not special because you make a mistake. There's no big deal to making a mistake. It's all in the recovery. It's all in the recovery. Most people don't recover from a mistake. If you want to differentiate yourself, get the blessing of the lesson, get up and move on.
If you are living a comfortable life, it only means you are continuously staying inside a field of what you know already. Every time you are crossing that line, every time you are expanding that border, you are bringing light into a space that before that time was a space of uncertainty. But there is only one way to find out and make uncertainty become knowledge. And that one is through experiencing it.
And everybody's fundamental issue is that you either hate yourself or you do nothing but judge yourself. And this habit of relentless self-criticism and relentless self-rejection is the reason why you're unhappy. It's the reason why you're never satisfied. It's the reason why you can't take a compliment and why you're uncomfortable. And it all comes down to the fact that when you stand in front of the mirror every single morning, you have this really subtle way that's not so subtle of starting your day by rejecting yourself.
People change in 4 different seasons. People change when they hurt enough they have to, when they see enough they're inspired to, when they learn enough that they want to, and when they receive enough that they're able to. Those are the 4 times that people change.
Can't be focused on the future. What you need to be focused is on the present moment. What you can control today, the habits that you input today, the amount of work ethic and good attitude that you portrayed today. These are the things that matter. The Stoics used to speak about these things because it's so easy to either reminisce in the past or to be conjuring imaginary scenarios of the future, oftentimes negative, that lead a present moment of stress and a state of being miserable. So if you want to be in a life that is full of equanimity, equanimity means the calmness of the soul, and a life that is full of peace, you need to be here now, focusing on what you can control.
Fear never goes away. You just learn to live with it. Here's what I can tell you for free. It's going to be much harder than you think. It's going to take much longer than you think. And you're going to suffer much more than you expect. But there will be nothing worth it more. What you've got to decide for yourself, do you want to be the person you want to be? If I remove the suffering from success, you lose character. That's why you suffer. It's because the journey you have to go through is life that's going to teach you, but it's going to give you depth and character. The question you have to ask for yourself is, do you want to be who you are, or do you want to be who you are becoming?
You're only as good as your last shot. You're only as good as your last win. A lot of people that live in past victories or past failures end up losing in life because they're reminiscing on the past. The past will not determine the future. You need to understand that every single day when you wake up, you have the ability to reset the clock and you have the ability to reset the direction of your life. If you were doing something yesterday that wasn't pushing you towards success, that doesn't define you. You can change, you can adapt, you can re-engineer your future by changing your habits.
True happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is contained in what you become.
Some people will never like you because I believe your spirit irritates their demons. You want to be strong? Learn how to be alone. Use this hurt as fuel, as energy. Falling down, failing is part of life. Is life. Getting up every day, no matter what, is living.
It's okay if your path is different than what you envisioned. Trust all the delays, the detours, and the roadblocks. Even if you can't see where you're headed, Just trust that many roads can take you where you want to go. Maybe it's taking you longer because you aren't cutting corners or manipulating people to get there. Maybe it's taking you longer because you're doing it right. Whatever it is, just keep going.
You don't have to know exactly what you want to be when you grow up. You just have to try different things, even if 99% of them fail. You only have to be right one time. You don't have to figure it all out in advance. You can be wrong. You could pick the wrong career. You can pick the wrong job. You can pick the wrong spouse. You can pick the wrong whatever. But you get it right one time, you're set. But if you don't try, and if you don't go out there and try all those different things, you'll never get that one time.
What are you willing to do different? How willing are you? And a lot of people will put words to that, but only time will tell whether those words are followed up by the action that demonstrates the level of willingness that is required to actualize anything of meaning in this world.
Understand that you are going to take blows. You're not going to walk through this thing seamlessly, never getting hit by a punch, never losing money. It's going to happen. And it doesn't make you less. It's just going to help you understand and get hardened to the facts of things that you have to do in order to succeed. All I would urge you and tell you to do is understand that it does get darker before the dawn, and you must keep pushing through because you truly have no other choice.
I will do good, no matter what. No matter what happens to me, I will do good, no matter what happens to me. It's absolute rejection of the idea of being a victim. It's like, no matter how much suffering comes my way, no matter how much undeserved suffering comes my way, in spite of my innocence, I will not lose faith and I will do good.
Fear of not achieving your goal, what we call self-limiting beliefs, hold you back more than anything else. And your self-limiting beliefs are not based on reality. That's why you have to constantly think, if I had no limitations, what goals would I set for myself?
It's the ultimate passion, a passion for incredible success in every department of my life. That's the passion. But don't look down on some menial job you have to do to finally get you to where you want to go. No job is menial. Every job is noble. Training life for pay, making a contribution to society.
Nobody changes until they change their energy. And when you change your energy, you change your life. Don't expect anything in your life to change if your environment is controlling your feelings and thoughts. And if your environment is controlling how you feel and think, what you're really saying is that person is controlling your feelings and your thoughts. And that means you're a victim to your environment. So turn that around and you start realizing your feelings and thoughts create your environment, and you start seeing the effects of you at cause. You're going to believe more that you're the creator of your life and less the victim of your life. And I say, the more you practice it, the better you get at it.
Everything you want will be found on your way to the top, not once you get there. The character, the discipline, the consistency, the self-respect, none of those things come with achieving the goal. They all come from the journey. Goals give you direction, but your commitment to the process will give you happiness and fulfillment. So commit to the vision, and wherever it takes you, just make sure you enjoy the ride.
You can literally feel when it is time to move into the next chapter of your life. And the thing is, your new life is going to cost you your old life. All you are going to lose is what you built for a person you no longer are. Let it go.
It's supposed to be hard. Everything worth pursuing comes with a little pain. The trick is not minding that it hurts.
Seneca famously said, while we wait for life, life passes. When you understand that your days are counted, that your days are limited, you begin to work with urgency towards your goals. You begin to work with urgency towards the things that you want in life. People say, well, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll get started when the new year hits. It doesn't work that way. Life passes you by with no urgency, but day by day. And so many people live and wake up like accidents that they forget this beautiful principle that life is in your control. And if you want to experience a certain type of outcome and a certain type of future, you must input the necessary labor today.
On the one side, you can make your ideas about what you would like to have, where you would like to be. This is the one side. So your focus is on what you would like to have, where you would like to be. Other question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Through how many different pains, conflicts, challenges are you willing to go through? Because there is something that goes hand in hand, like walking up the mountain. Walking to the peak is not going to get more easy. The higher the altitude, the more difficult it becomes. The challenges are not going to get easier the higher you reach.
There's two sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain, because that hurts. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called, if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it.
Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on, the ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
Being a human being is not easy as opposed to an animal, because we're born and nobody gives us a direction. And it's a very, very difficult process. You wake up in the morning and you don't really know what you can do. You could choose 12 different paths. It can be very confusing and very overwhelming. When you find that sense of purpose, when you find what I call your life's task, everything has a direction. Everything has a purpose. Your energy is concentrated. It's not like you're just going down a single narrow pathway. It's not like life becomes boring and it's just about discipline and solving problems. It's actually the most exciting thing that can ever happen to you, because you never have that lost feeling. You wake up in the morning and you go, yeah, this is what I need to accomplish.
Yesterday ended last night. If you were successful, I got something for you. It ended last night. You can't live on yesterday's success. If you failed, I got good news for you. It ended last night. Today matters. We over-exaggerate yesterday, we overestimate tomorrow, and we underestimate today. And it's today what matters.
Fastest way to losing yourself is to try and make everyone else happy. The best thing you can do is be a true north. Be you. Shine your light. Know what your core values are. Know what your belief system is. Know what your morals and your character should be. And live by that.
I learned recently how grateful I am for storms. Quiet skies don't show you how strong you are. Calm doesn't force you to level up. No, it's when the ground shakes we learn to endure. We're forced to find within ourselves a resilience that was once tucked away. They say confidence is earned, and well, it's earned because when we walk through hell, we give our greatness permission to walk alongside us.
The perfect moment has already come and gone, time after time. But you're sitting here still waiting for it. You think it's gonna knock on your door and say, hey, I'm the perfect moment, I'm here. But the truth is, there's two types of people. The person that says, oh, I don't really care, I'm gonna die one day. What does it matter? Or there's the person that says, I've got one life and I'm going to live it.
My definition of a creative life is any life where your decisions are routinely based more strongly on your curiosity than your fear every single day in all your realms of your life. And then your life itself will become a work of art, and it doesn't matter what you make or produce or leave or influence. It's just that you will create a life that will be really interesting for you.
You don't have to feel good about it. You just have to keep going. The feeling will pass, but you will remain. You are greater than your feelings. Going to bed late and waking up early to work for a few days won't kill you. You're not going to burn out. You're doing what it takes. Hard times last long, but an epic story feels like a lifetime.
It's always darkest before the sun breaks in the morning. It's always darkest. But you know the sun is going to come up. Think of the sun. Think how dark it is before the sun comes up. When you're down and you see no hope or no way out of your condition, and you're seething in these emotions, try to remind yourself, do you think the sun is going to come up, or is it not going to come up? The sun always comes up, and that's your hope.
You think that big changes are what are going to make you happy. That's not the answer. What makes you happier are the little things. Happiness is the smallest things, because your whole life is made up of all the little things that you do every single day. That's how you build a happier life. So pay attention to when you wake up, the first thing you look at every morning, being kinder to yourself. The little things are everything, because they add up to one big happy life.
Real self-worth comes from doing hard things. We keep talking about self-love. We keep talking about loving yourself, believing in yourself. That happens naturally when you go through something difficult.
The day that turns your life around. And under this subject, we're going to talk about the emotions that can change your life. Human beings are emotional creatures, and emotions are powerful for life change. Now, of course, emotions are so powerful, they can go either way on you. Emotions can either build or destroy. So you really have to employ emotions properly. We call civilization the intelligent management of human emotions. If you can intelligently apply your emotions in the right direction, no telling what can happen. Could turn your life around one day would be sufficient.
You have to become the kind of person that can push through the hard times. Most people can't do that. Most people cannot push through the challenging, the draining, the frustrating times that make everybody else quit. So you have to build yourself into someone who has the discipline, the fortitude, the grit, the perseverance to become someone who is literally incapable of quitting.
What I've learned is to always keep going. Always, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready.
Don't cheat yourself. Don't sabotage your dreams by chasing cheap dopamine. Delay your gratification. Understand that the game is long and the road is difficult, and that you're by yourself. And if you cheat yourself, well, you're going to be cheated by everybody else. Level up, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and don't do the things in life that are going to set you back. That which you know you're not supposed to do, you don't do it. The life that you have is the life that you chose. If the life that you have is not a life that you like, make different choices. So if the life that you have is not a life that you enjoy, you are responsible.
Cling to it. Things will get better once you get over this downtime. And the difficulty is that people can't think of that when they're so depressed and so hopeless and they reach bottom. They can't visualize that things will ever get better. But for those who have courage and have faith and hope that things will get better in my life, they can look back a few years later and say, wow, look at me now. Some have it and some don't. Some will stay down, they will never get up off the floor, and others will endure, and they have courage and they have hope, and life will get better. It always does.
Loneliness is a timeless thing, tragically. Stoicism is founded in a moment of loneliness. Zeno loses everything in a shipwreck. Seneca's best writings come from exile when he's sent far away from the people that he loves. Marcus Aurelius is the most powerful man in the world, but also by the very nature of his power and responsibility and fame, he was isolated, he was lonely, just as you might be today.
You have to start looking at uncertainty and transition and that feeling of I know there's much more to me as a positive and not a negative, and start leaning into it. Because let me tell you something, there is so much more to you. Like, you haven't even figured out who you fully are yet. Like, that is a beautiful thing, to know that there's still more to discover about yourself. There's still more to learn about yourself, you know, and that's a beautiful thing to know that, right? And so often we just allow fear, doubt, or I want to control everything to keep us from exploring that, from really, really, you know, stepping out of our shell and expanding who we really are.
Most people never succeed in life because they're waiting for conditions to be perfect. They're waiting for the sun to shine, the temperature to be right, all the stars to align, and then have some sort of sign that tells them to go. And I'm here to tell you guys that will never happen. Conditions will never be perfect. Things will never align. There will always be a reason for you to put off what should be done right now for a later time. That is a success and life truth.
There's two ways to see the world. Some people see the thing that they want, and some people see the thing that prevents them from getting the thing that they want. Don't spend your life living for other people, being a box checker for what feels right to them. Put yourself first. There's nothing worse than living with regret. So take a risk, bet on yourself, do the thing that nobody thinks you can do. Shock the world. What do you have to lose?
A blade does not become strong until it's been through the fire several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place. And then you're going to have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot and it melts you down and you're uncomfortable. You've got a lot more forge time left. You've got a lot more hammer blows left. And it takes time. Embrace the process. You say, Dwayne, what process? Life. Embrace the journey and the process of life.